Happy Tuesday, and welcome to the Ram Ashram Satsang practice session, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview of this Satsang session. If you'll direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Method. If you direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin its practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior. But only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These practice sessions are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these practice sessions, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul. But only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice Satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a Satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of Satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ram Ashram Satsang. He was born into a Satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating Satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that Satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate Satsangs for local Satsangis. He has led teams of Satsang members in translating important Satsang literature into English, and has worked tirelessly to make Satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating Satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of Satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
A happy Tuesday. Glad to be here and glad to have you all here. So I think we have been talking about the monkey mind because this question always comes up. How do we tackle the monkey mind? And essentially, satsang definitely, if we practice and if we continue to cut through the initial, phase where it may take a few sessions, maybe sometimes, but I feel a lot of people at least feel that they have gone deeper in their connection with inner peace in this first session itself. So Yuan, could you just bring the other slides, slide 1 and 2 that we were leveraging? Oh, did you? Oh, okay. So thank you for bringing this up. I thought you didn't get it. So satsang benefits, so we'll talk about the monkey mind when we talk about, boosting our focus. But if we look at overarching benefits of satsang, I think it's almost like 3 dimensions. The physical dimension, the psychological or the mental powers, mental capabilities aspects, and the mental resilience. And then the impact of it on our, brain, knowledge, wisdom. So we'll take that in that sequence. So yeah, next slide, please. So if we look at just the, health benefits from a physical, health benefits perspective, we have talked at length in other sessions about how satsang can help with stress and anxiety. And what happens is that when you go into deep silent meditation, which we will practice shortly, it slows down our breathing or balances our breathing, and that impacts both the heart rate and blood pressure as well, which in turn would reduce the risk of heart disease. So essentially, meditation helps to focus your attention inwards to induce a state of deep relaxation. So, unlike some of the other meditations, satsang, and especially the way my grandfather, who started this in 1930, kind of structured this, orienting oneself inwards. We will talk about that a little more later. And basically, that itself, induces a state of deep relaxation, which in turn would, the whole stress levels and the hormonal, imbalances that it results in, all that gets reduced. Yeah, so let's, and if we start talking about the next set, which is more about the mental capabilities now. So you on the next slide. So when we practice, the physical benefits are, obviously it requires your practice to evolve a little bit, but the same thing goes with the, improved mental focus, which would, result in both efficiency of, the mental powers, and resiliency comes with it. Now, with meditation, how you're, so improved concentration, which would enhance productivity. So that I would almost say is a central tenet of this practice. It again, I mean, it won't appear that, or it won't start showing, clear gains till we get the practice a little deeper, but improved concentration, enhanced productivity, your attention, all that ought to improve. And for last few sessions, we were talking about, if when practicing, your monkey mind is still at work, how do you tackle that? So there are ways, and if I step back, basically, a lot of people who are trying to get into a better state through meditation keep saying the monkey mind is not getting tackled. Essentially, what you have to look at is meditation practice has to be integrated into the lifestyle. And if the lifestyle has other aspects where, negativity, anger, lust, greed, all these things which create mental upheaval, continue to stay, in an overpowering state, then calming the monkey mind becomes a bigger challenge. Anyway, so, and the next set, so you on? So Yuan, could you get to the next slide? So now this one is a bit deeper, obviously requires, more evolved and matured practice. But, if your concentration is better and your overall practice evolves, that would be because your mental capabilities, mental powers have made you able to control your emotions, your, balancing negative thoughts, negative energies to, affect you lesser and lesser. And if that happens, your brain functions start your, as your behavior changes, which it will if you continue through the first two dimensions, then it would transform you internally. And not only, and that transformation, what does it look like? It increases inner happiness, contentment, tolerance, patience, also, and all that results in a more joyous, joy becomes almost second nature. And along with that, it increases your ability to make better decisions, select, so it's almost like a positive spiral. You, with reflection, contemplation, and other things, when you make some right behavioral changes, then you build upon that and it hopefully gets better. So I think the way I look at this is, a mature meditation practice, especially this practice, the way it's designed and structured, it makes you develop this inner strength through which you do the inner transformation, which then results in, the whole target state, which I have talked about several times, where love, light, and peace. So light is, figuratively speaking, knowledge or wisdom. Love, light, and peace. So when wisdom leads to your ability to understand, your health, your joy, your state is so heavily connected with the collective, consciousness. And once you realize that, your the unconditional, selfless love evolves, and which then leads to more peaceful existence. So, anyways, and I think last session I was quoting Guru Maharaj in his thought was, I think, in describing some concept around meditation, he was saying, you can keep talking about sleep, you can keep listening about it, you can keep writing about it, but it's, what it is, and, it's when you actually sleep. And the deeper the sleep, the more refreshing it is. And so the same thing goes with meditation. So let's practice. Let's, actually experience all this we were talking about. So first two things, so basically, in the 8 limbs of yoga, Maharishi Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, which is nothing but 8 limbs of yoga. So there is asanas and pranayams and yam and niyam, which is the other 4. But the top 4, or the meditative practices part of yoga, which is pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, which is inward orientation, concentration, or object of concentration, meditation, and higher consciousness, which I feel is basically what we will do now, which is, in a way, these 4 I kind of call inner yoga. As Eddie was describing inner satsang, inner yoga is more about the meditative aspects of the 8 limbs, the 4 that focus more on the meditation. So now inward orientation, how do you get that? Basically, we have to look inwards. For that, we have to focus our mind to look inwards, which is hard, and then we have to give it an object of concentration, which is dharana, which is, so the object of concentration, or what is that we want to manifest. So here we want to manifest transcendental energy. So, eyes lightly closed and still or relaxed posture. So both of those things help inward orientation and help the mind to concentrate. So we want to, reduce the distractions. So the sensory input through the eyes, we want to keep the eyes slightly closed to reduce that. Still and relaxed posture. So every time body moves, mind moves with it. So we want to minimize that distraction. Now, and then what we need to manifest is this transcendental energy in form of light. That light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and that we are getting totally and completely immersed in this life. Is this light. So mind wanders away because it's natural. It just, when we try to concentrate, it will, immediately go to something that we were thinking about, something that is going on. So just bring it back. Even like if you do mindful meditation or any other, anything else, just do it before or after. Right now, the focus should be on manifesting transcendental energy in form of light. So think about that energy is right here, right now, and it's feel the connection, feel the presence, feel that this energy is entering your heart. From there, it's distributing throughout your body. So you're basically becoming that positive, uplifting energy. And, so we'll start with music. That'll help the concentration. Then music fades away and we go deep into silent meditation. And then we'll start the music again and we will, basically transition out of it through music as well. So when you focus inwards and manifest this transcendental energy, and when you go into deep silent meditation, that would lead to higher consciousness. So let's start now. Let's focus on it. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So next weekend, the Saturday 10 a.m. session will be from Richmond, Virginia. So we're organizing a in-person session at the library there. And I think in January, we'll be launching a whole new beginner's toolkit with some orientation program and orientation courses, so that we can create a community of practitioners who, learn together, practice together for a bit. So, all right. Abby, any questions before we wrap up? And, so, right then, Eddie, what's the wrap up for today?
I think it's interesting that as we grow up from being youngsters to adults, our elders and wise people tell us that if we want to be successful in life, that we should be patient, and that we should be hardworking, and we should concentrate and focus and not have a scattered mind, and that we should stay, work the wheel, not quit, not give up, but keep working at what we're doing. And then you tell us here that if we want to be happy, that we should practice Satsang, and that we should change the bad actions or bad behaviors in our life to good behaviors. And to do that, we should practice Satsang as well. So it seems that the solution to all our woes seem to be to practice inner form of Satsang. So it's a very simple solution, but every day I see, and me and sometimes as well, and that is that to try to find the solution to the problems I just mentioned, we often look in the wrong places, and every day we see it, and we see people suffer as a result of it. But it's so enlightening to hear you tell us that all we, have to do is practice Satsang, not just the inner meditation, work on the outside as well, in terms of helping others and that sort of thing. But Satsang as a whole, we have to practice that. And so it's just kind of amusing, but it's a great solution to know that we found it. I mean, it's great knowing that we found this solution and that we're here practicing it now, and that in 3 months and so we should be able to see some improvements in our character, and start to see our concentration improved, and maybe feeling a little bit happier and all these things. And it's here. And, we have it in the palm of our hands, and all we have to do now is just to take advantage of it and practice. So, it's very, very interesting that all the things that we want to achieve in life seem to come together in this practice of Satsang.
Which it does. Yeah, it's like sometimes I start feeling like what I'm saying is like similar to a magic wand. but it's like it has, and I think last time we were talking about like simple, powerful, but again, I mean, it's easier compared to some other practices, but simple, sometimes it's hard to implement, hard to, hard to, it's like sometimes the simple things can be really understanding the value and sticking to them. It's like, everybody knows like we should have a workout strategy, we have to have this and this and this. The behaviors add up, but how much of that we really implement. But I have seen the satsang leaders to implement things in ways that is so very uncommon. That's my motivation to say, yeah, even if there is one person here, I want to talk about it. Why? Because this works. If one person gets help, I think my giving back, duty is done. So anyway, so Abby, yeah, you wanted to say something.
Hi, yeah.
Hello.
I just want to say it was my first time doing an unguided sort of meditation for that long. So it was hard for myself to like stay focused. But from what you were saying in the beginning, like repetitively doing it, I think will just help me grow stronger with like being so focused in meditation. So I'm looking forward to just continuously doing it and growing that mental strength.
Where have you joined from?
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, awesome. I'm all my 3 kids were born in New Jersey.
Oh, nice.
And Eddie is from New Jersey. And I love New Jersey, by the way. But so, yeah, we'll probably next year we're planning some, some in-person opportunities as well. Let's see if New Jersey comes on the map. But if you have a few minutes, so one of my mentors in Satsang, this slide we have, described in a lot of detail in last few sessions, but I'll go over with you what you just talked about, right? I'm actually going to take out the guided meditation part from our, like flyers and branding and all that, because I think guided here is very, very spoon feeding, like guiding in the sense of, while you're meditating, you're being guided. To me, that is, and I don't mean in any negative way, I'm just saying it's when you are in deep silent meditation, when you are in deep meditation, you are being guided by the forces from above. You don't need to listen to a human being. You still need guidance, yes. And that's why satsang is all about, guidance. But for the meditative guidance, all sessions as today, I think, before we meditate, there is instructions. From day one, since I have, all sessions here were always guidance, because mind wants to, even after listening to all that instruction, still does what it does. So it always starts with guidance, but it's not in that way that, the guided meditations are, those, and don't get me wrong, I'm just saying those are very surface level meditations. This is deep silent meditation where if you, as you're saying, you want to practice, you want to get more into it. If you go a little deeper, you will get to, and I don't even want to call it higher consciousness. I'm telling you, you will get into such deeper inner happiness and joy that you would never, ever get to through just pure, the meditation, which keeps instructing you while you're meditating. Believe me. So, but you are right. A lot of people, I mean, even today, after decades and decades, this monkey mind is a thing of its own. So, Yuan, could you bring up the slide 1 and 2? So slide 1 first, please. The other one. There you go. Okay. So talking about the monkey mind, when we can't meditate and can't concentrate. So basically, monkey mind at play. Why does that happen? So one of my mentors, Panditji Maharaj, he was about 45 minutes away from the Taj, if that makes any sense. Used to, when I was in college, that was ages ago, used to meet him very often. He wrote a book, Self-Realization, A Journey, loosely translating that title was in Hindi. So what he is saying is that when our five senses, which are always, indulged in something or the other, so when these five senses are overpowering, negativity is on the rise, even like passions and ambitions, which are good from worldly perspective, materialistic, and even like otherwise, I think they're good for life. But when they are on the rise, I am thinking about it constantly, then that's also going to affect my monkey mind. Anger, lust, greed, deep worldly attachments, ego, all that has emotional clouds that, not just cloud our judgment, it's also affecting our mind. And when these become overpowering, or they are like, anger can be super consuming. So can be lust. Greed doesn't, sometimes you don't even realize that how you're driven by greed, and so on and so forth. So all these emotions can affect our state of mind, and when they become overpowering or consuming, the mind would not concentrate. Deep grief also is not, won't help. And that state of mind also, it's very difficult to meditate. Worry and anxiety, again, what's in one of the chapters in his 7-volume book, my grandfather talks about worry and anxiety as being the worst enemy of peace, period. So then he goes on, and I have a slide on that too, or basically I summarized on one slide his whole chapter. There were like 5 or 6 different ways in which you can tackle worry and anxiety. And one of them is what we just practiced. When we are faced with insults, that affects our, and this happens from top to bottom. People who are up there in some ways get affected because people become jealous. People become, and there's so many reasons why you will get into situations where, there is stuff which you'll have to face, that then starts running in your head, affects your concentration. So asanas and pranayams, like breathing exercises and physical exercises were part of, the Ashtanga yoga, or the 8 limbs of yoga, which Maharishi Patanjali, one of the fathers of, yoga philosophy, made that integral to his system, because if you are not well, or if you cannot sleep well, which is, sometimes related, sometimes any of the above things could also lead to sleeplessness. So that can affect your concentration. Even hurting others, or, here I think it's more about violence and So all these things need to be tackled if you want to integrate, meditation into your life. If you want to really get into a deep meditative state, the more you will evolve as a practitioner, you will realize how deep these things go to affect our inner being. Because, otherwise it's like, hey, this is what life is. But, just very quickly, I think, it's 8:07 already. All right. So, Yuan, if you could bring the other slide, I can. So this next one talks about the flip side, which is what will help you to concentrate, help you to tackle the monkey mind. And, you just mentioned it. You said, I will persist, I will try. And those two things, sit still, don't get up, persist. And actually somewhere, the last one is attend group meditation. I cannot, and it's not because, I obviously want you here, but I'm just saying, I'm not saying because I want you here. I'm just saying my entire practice, the lifeline was group meditation throughout. The collective energy in the group effortlessly makes you, get to a higher state than you would otherwise. Then help someone. And I think it was just this Saturday, someone was mentioning that, I wouldn't tie helping someone. They didn't say it that way, but they were saying they were very happy to see that this was there. But imagine like helping someone would help you concentrate. But it will. It actually will, because the joy helping others gives, especially like selflessly, unconditionally, more on those, it just has a phenomenal impact on your state of mind, and your concentration. Sit with other like-minded people, work with your mentor, try to eliminate the root cause of such things, even fasting. And sometimes when the things that we're previously talking about are overpowering, distract, find some temporary relief quickly. And singing devotional songs, etc. Anyway, so I'll pause here. So, Abby, you think all this makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll we meet Tuesday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. I don't know if Saturday time would work for you, but whenever you can join us. This is very, very unique. Even in India, where there is far more awareness of such things, limited people, get to this because it's easy, but it's focusing on manifesting transcendental energy in this way is initially, at least, a bit difficult and doesn't come that easily, I feel, but very powerful.
Yeah, I you just have a lot of constant thoughts when I was meditating, and that's what kind of distracted me. But there was a point where I could, like 2 years ago, kind of just snap and like meditate. And I like the meditation where it is just you and like above meditating. It's not anyone telling you what to think. Yeah, you're just doing like your own healing and listening to yourself and healing that way. So yeah, I can come to these Tuesdays, but Saturday doesn't really work for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try it for a few weeks. Try to just, exactly the way we meditated. Just try 5 minutes to 15 minutes every day. Just see if, because that might help. And come for a few Tuesdays and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Sure. And yeah, I'm hopefully late January we'll start some orientation course. I'll send you some information of that as well. Let's see that. I think there will be some content which will, help the practice as well.
Okay.
All right. Very, very nice seeing you. And be light, love, and peace be with you. And have a great week ahead. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
Thank you, Sanjeevji. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night. Namaskar. Thank you.
नमस्ते भैया जी।
Namaskar, Shivan.
प्रणाम
Namaskar.